Hi friends, welcome to WebCharm. So in this video, I'm going to discuss how to create an application or how to start with the Power Apps learning. So we will start our journey with creating a Canvas application. So let me uh, open the Power Apps first in browser. Obviously, this is a cloud-based platform, so you need to search for this URL. This much URL is sufficient. mech.powerapps.com. Right. Then this screen will be visible to you. And since you are going to create a new application, you can create applications from the Create tab. So you can click on the Create and then you can select the Start with the blank canvas. All other options are there. We will explore those options also, but it is always good to learn from the scratch. Right. So Canvas application in Power Apps lets you to build the business apps without coding. All other types of applications are same in the Power Apps, but yes, everything is without coding here. Actually, the purpose of Power Apps is low code. It is low code platform developed by Microsoft, so you need not to worry down the code. You just need to focus on your business application, business logics. So Power Apps gives you the blank canvas where you can drag components to design a user interface in any layout you want. So by using the Canvas applications, you will have the full control on the layout of application. You can use the Excel form the way we have Excel formula. Similarly, same kind of functions are already defined there, and you will be able to use those kind of functions to specify the logic and work with the data. Most of the functions are pretty much similar to the Excel also. So build apps that use the business data from wide variety of Microsoft and third-party sources. So you will be able to connect with the range of many sources that are already configured. Many connectors are already configured. You will be able to use that directly. Once the application is built, you will be able to share your apps so that user can run it on the browser or on the mobile device, or embed your apps into their applications, their website. So they run it in SharePoint, or they can run it in Power BI, they can run it in Teams, or maybe in any other application. So you will be able to build the application using the Copilot also, or you can build your own application from scratch. So we are going to start our journey with scratch development. That is always better to understood the technology. Right. So you can automatically generate an app from a sample application, from a template, from a Dataverse, SharePoint, Excel. So if your data is sitting in these sources, Dataverse, SharePoint, or Excel, you will be able to create an application directly. So that is like a data first approach. Not a data first, we can say, but yeah, the kind of we will get the data. We will select the data source first, and then based on that, the Power Apps automatically, I mean, the AI will create an application for you to perform. Basically, what kind of applications we are going to perform here, or we are going to build here, is a CRUD applications. This is, we can say, this is a kind of replacement for the web applications for the business users with less code or less coding knowledge. Right. So let's start. Meaning, once the application is ready, you will be able to share everything we will discuss. We will create a small application. So once you come to the Create tab, you will see this kind of options. So start with the data. So this is what the option you can select to pick the data set first, and based on that, Power Apps or AI will generate the application for you to perform the cloud application. So we will see how to create it manually, and then we will jump to the data based application or start with the data kind of things. So you can select start with blank canvas. Once you select, so you will be able to select the size. So I would like to select the responsive, so that it should work on a desktop, it should work on tablet, it should work on phone. So everything is there. But let's say if you are designing application for the phone purpose only, you can select the phone only. Okay. So this is a default screen. Nowadays they have added, but earlier it was not there. It was opening a blank screen. Okay. So what you can do is you will be able to design your application by simply dragging the components. But from where you have to drag? Okay. So what I will do is I will add a blank screen instead of using their default screen. Okay. So you cannot remove this screen, looks like, or screen content. Okay, you can remove their screens also. Default screen is removed. Now here, from this tree view, okay, from this tree view, you will be able to select the, or you will be able to add new screen. Okay, so go to the new screen and select blank screen. Okay, so this is how, this is the screen one, screen two. You can rename this. You can simply say home page. Okay, then you can simply say any other, like create employee form. So like this, you can give the name, meaning the page, what it is for, you can define here. N number of screens you can add, you will be able to add. Okay, I don't want to add too many, so I'm just keeping two. Even let's say I don't need this home screen also, so I'm going to remove this. Now let's say this is my home page. So I just shown you how to add the multiple screen, right? So now, to add the component here, you will be able to uh, get the list of components from the insert, meaning what you want to insert. If you click on this, you can see a list of items are available on the screen. Just to add, so it's completely depends on you what you want to add. Then let's say if you want to use the date picker, you can use the date picker. If you want to use the vertical gallery, you can use. But let's say, for example, I have to design a form. Okay, what I will go, I will go to this. Okay, not this, but to my OneDrive. In my OneDrive, I have a one Excel file. Okay, so this is employee leave request form. Let me open this. Let me open this, right? And I don't need this. Let me delete this data. And this is what the columns I have. For example, I wanted to create an application to create a new request for the leaves, for the leaves. So I wanted to add new data here when I will submit. So I wanted to design a form for that purpose. So most of the times the Power Apps is used to collect the data or to update the data. So complete CRUD operation you can perform. Even you will be able to use this for to read the data also. So I have a email ID, then name, then employee ID, leave date, and reason for the columns. These are the minimum requirements that you need to create. So what I will do, I will go to this screen. Here, let's say I would like to add one header. So there is nothing called header and all. So even if you try to search, you may find, okay, hard health icons are there, but headers is not there. So you can use the text label. Text label is the way to add the header for your screen or for your application. Okay, so let me keep this. Now, what is the text? So whatever the component you are going to insert in the screen, sorry, on the in the application. So what you can do is you can edit the properties from properties pane on the right side. Okay, here it is text. I don't want to keep this. I would like to say this is like employee leave request form. Let me hit the enter button. So you will be able to see this is changed. I edited a text. Okay. You may want to change the font family. You will be able to do that. You may want to increase the size of the text. You can edit. Then like this, you will be able to. Okay, this is already bold, so we can keep normal and all. Fine. Then font style, italic, underline, or through lines, however it strike through, however you want to use. If you want to align this to a center, you will be able to do. Then you can define the change the line height, how much space you want to keep between two lines. So since we will have only one, so this is whatever is the default, it is good. Overflow is hidden, so you can change this. If you are pretty much familiar with the, let's say you are familiar with the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, so you will be able to understand these properties very easily. Otherwise, we will discuss what is overflow and all in our subsequent videos. Right. Display mode, you can disable. Say if I say disable, this will not be visible in the application. But let's say I would like to say this is a view. So for this component, this will be viewed. It cannot be edited by the user. This is how you want. And if you want to make it editable, you can keep the display mode as an edit. So you can even hide this visible or hide. Then position, you will be able to change the position, size, width, then padding from left side, meaning the top side, right side, bottom side, left side, whatever is you want to change, you can change. You can change the color of text. So let me select the background fill first. So let's say this is the background and I may want to pick the another color here. Right. So this is employee leave request form. We are going to design here. Right. So you can design the form in single column, in multiple columns, however you want. Okay. So first of all, you need to select again, once again. So you will be able to design now. You will be able to design the headers. So you can even the way I edited the text from the properties, you can skip this in the formula bar also. In front of fx, you will be able to say here. So employee ID. User has to enter the employee ID. Okay. So now I would like to edit more on this side, but I close the properties. So you can enable the properties from here. So after the editing, there is something called properties, and you can change this to 20 so that it should look better. Then it should be a bold. Okay, however you want, align this to center. Then you may want to keep this in a black or any other color. You will be able to change the color of your text. So these are the basic properties here. Advanced properties are also available on this. So we will see all the types of properties, but not this time. As we progress with the application developments, we will go through the properties. Okay. So this is what I selected. Now I would like to just copy this item. You can see. So this is my label one. Here you can give the name as a header for this text box. Then this is employee ID. Okay. Then this is employee. Okay. EMP. Let's say name. I can say, right, and the text I can edit as a name. Okay. Then let me copy this, create a copy of this. Let me increase some space between them so that it will be easy for me to maintain. Then let's say name is done, then ID is done, then I can say email address. Okay. So employee email, and the next component is like the leave date. Okay. Then after leave date, I can say the reason for leave. Okay. So this is how the things, but if I keep this at the center, so this will not looks aligned. So let me change this to left so that I should see everything in a line, right? So this is how we have. Okay, so it is giving the suggestion. Okay, if you say rename and all, it will work, but I don't want to rename. Okay, so employee name is there. This is employee email. This is the leave date. These names are going to matter for the data mapping, but not at this, meaning with the text labels, but with the input fields, it is going to matter. And then I will say reason. Right. Then now, okay, let me take this to this level. Okay. So now I would like to see all these are the headers, just headers. We are not going to give the any input. So these are text in labels we selected. But now if I would like to get the input, so I can go to the input. Even these are the some are available, but everything you will be able to find in the input or in other options, right? So I would like to get the data. Okay, I would like to get the data. So I would like to select text input, right? So here I can enter in it is the as a placeholder I can enter employee ID. Okay, and this is what I can do. Then you may want to fill the color. You will be able to fill the color. Okay, this is not good. Let's say this is what the color, and text color I can keep as an a blue. Okay, then you may want to make this bold. So single line, password, multi-line, whatever the mode of this text input, you will be able to select. Okay. So I just selected as a single line. Here I selected enter employee name, right? Then I'm just copying this and I will say employee email. Okay. So now I may needs to for the leave date. Okay, I'm not going to use this one. So I will say employee enter leave reason. Enter leave reason. Right. And here in front of date, leave date, I would like to pick something else that is called date picker. So if I use the date picker, so this is available. You can directly select the date. Okay, so I'll show you how this is going to work. Okay, let me select everything, bring it to the center, and let's say this is how I would like to create an application. And obviously, you need a button to submit the data. So I selected a button, keep the button at the end. The text on the button should be submit leave request. Right. So submit leave request. This is the button I have created. So now you may want to see how this application looks when someone play the application. So there is a, for the testing purpose, there is a play button. Preview this app, or you can press F5. And even you can press and hold Alt key to test it. Okay. So now let me play this manually. So if I play this application, you will be able to see this is how my application is looking. Okay, I'm just reducing the screen size to bring everything, but you can have, even you will be able to manage this. This is on the browser side, how this will look on the tablet side. If you want to see, you can select the tablet and all. You can select the font size also, and then you can test how it will look on the specific size of the screen. Now, okay, I don't want, because I cannot play, but I can show you the leave date, how you can select. Let's say I want leave on the 19th date. You will be able to select the date here, right? We have designed one screen, single screen, that is called home, or you can name this as a something else. But the inputs, if you see, this is text input one, this is text input, because I copied the same input for a couple of times. That's why these are designed in this way. So I will say employee ID value. This is what my employee name value. These names are pretty much important while data mapping to submit in the data source. So now here I will say employee email. Okay. And employee email value. Okay. Then next is employee. Okay. I can use EMP only, employee leave reason value. Then I can say leave date EMP leave date. So far we are building an application where you can apply a leave for single day. And then this is a submit button. So I would like to say submit. Right. So this is how we have designed the screen. You can add the spare box and all everything here. So let me not on this. Okay, let me go to the browser and increase the size, but you are this size. Okay, let me click on this and to zoom in. Okay, fine. Then this is how I can keep the view. So now, this is what obviously one form is designed, but I may wants to submit the form. But where you will submit the form? Where you want to submit the form? So let's say you have to submit the data in this Excel. Right, you have to submit the data in this Excel. So we will select the data source first as a this Excel as a data source in this application. Okay, let me close this. Okay, then I would like to add the data. To add the data, here you can see the option on the right side of the insert options. You will be able to you will be able to see options to insert the data. So you can pick the connectors. You will be able to go to the OneDrive and all. Even here is a on the left side also you can see that this is a tree view. Then this is insert. You will be able to pick the component from here. You will be able to select the data or add the data from here also. So now what I will do, I will select it from here and let me say Excel online business. This is what the connector I would like to use because I have a Excel file which is available on the OneDrive. So I selected this. This is my credentials and it is now giving you the options to choose the data set. So I'll select OneDrive for business. In the OneDrive for business, again, I'll select the OneDrive. And if I go down, employee leave request form is there. This is what the option. Then the table name. This is the table name, office form C. When you work with the Power platform using the Excel, your data should be in the table format only. Then and then only it will work. Otherwise, it is not going to work. It cannot work with the worksheet and all arrange. So I selected this as a okay. Then what it says, select an identifier or office form tables. So I will say I'll say use unique column from Excel table. But in the leave request there is nothing. In the leave request there is nothing. One employee can apply more than one leave. So we will not have unique column. So I will pick this uh, to insert auto-generated ID into the Excel table. Right. So now if I go to this, you will be able to see this is what my data set. Right. And the data set name is office tables. You will not be able to edit that. Now, you may want to submit this data. You may want to submit this data. We are not using the forms and anything. So we will end up using the function. Okay, so when I say this, when I say select this button, so here the properties, you will be able to select the property, what you want to do. Whatever the properties, you will be able to see here on the right side. The list of properties are available on this, in this drop down also. But for the button, obviously, we are going to select the button. So button by default property here is on select and on select what you want to do. So you may want to submit a data. So here we need to use the function called patch function. Right. Even there are, see, if you are using the form controls, then you can use the submit form and all. But at this stage, we will use the patch function. Okay, so I will say here. Okay, so let me design your screen, and this is the application, and let's designing a patch function, meaning see the writing a patch function here for our application. So this is the very important function. This you can use to create new record. This you can use to update and edit and even to find out and then edit. Meaning, see, while updating a record, you will not update the entire table. You will update or you will end up updating some of few records. So where you can use the different functions to find out that record. So lookup function is there. But by default, we are going to create a new record, right? So what we will do, we will use default function. Okay. First of all, it is asking for the record. So we have to give the record as a office table, office forms table. This is what our collection. Then are we going to update? No, we are not going to update. So this is the way you have to write the default function here so that you will be able to create. Now it says what to update. So we define source first. Source is the this, and we defined to create a new record. We use the default function, and then we have to give the values. Give the values for this. Right. So now what this is going to do? This is going to okay. What this is going to do is this is going to give the list of available columns in this whatever the data office forms dot table in this table. So first of all, I will say employee ID. Employee ID is equal to what will be the your input. So you can see EMP ID value, right? So I will use that EMP ID value, and then since this is in the text, you should use text, right? So this is how you need to assign the values. This is the first one in the first in the key and value pair. We are going to define the records to be updated. So in employee ID column, you should bring the value from this input field, right? Even there is something called the value also. We should use ideally value, but why value is not shown? I even said okay. The type of this employee does not match with the expected type text. Okay, fine. Text is going to even work, right? Specified column does not exist. Okay. The next column is, should I use this in the double quotation? No. Single quote is supported for the column. Okay. And the key and value. Okay. So this, why this is giving the message like this? Okay. Let me pick name. And the name emp name value dot text, right? Okay, so now let me open this, and this name is like this only, right? The next comma, next field is Let me open the Excel to see the names of fields. Okay, employee ID done. Okay, let me pick the next value as an email. And email as a employee email, emp email value dot text. Even this is how it's going to work. Either we can use single quote for this. Even if I don't use, it is not. It should not affect. Let's not use. Let me try not to use this. Then give the comma. Then I will say leave date, and leave date as a leave. Okay, not this one. Leave employee leave date dot. Here you should not use the text because that is not a text input. That is a date input. So the value meaning you should use the attribute called a selected date, because we are going to select the date in the date picker, right? Then leave reason, and let me say employee leave reason dot text, right? So this is what the function should get called when I submit the data, when I click on this button. This is what my expectation. Let me close this. Let me close this. Okay. So on select, we selected this function. We have written this function. So this should work, right? And obviously we are going to. So this is the default ID. Okay. This Power Apps ID is created by default for all the record. Now let me run the application. Try to submit the data. Right. So now let me save this application with the name of leave request. Since your application is not saved, you will not be able to publish this. You need to save leave request application demo. Okay, so new application we are saving in our Power Apps app list. Okay, the application is saved. Now let's run this application. So let me run this. And okay, this is how it should look on the tab. Even this is on the browser window size. Okay, canvas size. Right. So employee ID, what I will do, this is default value, but we can remove that. Let me say this is the 10. The name of employee, let's say Deva, and email address is like deva@pepcham.com. So this is just a demo. Let's say I would like to take a leave in the next week for 24th. I will select the date, and reason could be just, I will say, planned leave. Right. And I'll click on this. It will take some time to reflect data. It will take some time to reflect the data in your source. If you open this Excel, okay, so you can see this Excel is edited at 11:10. Now it's 11:20. So this is not yet modified. It will submit the data on the cloud first, and then after some time it may get synchronized, right? So you need to wait for some time. So maybe for a couple of minutes, for 5 minutes, 2 minutes, something, whatever will be there. But this is successfully, meaning this is what we have created an application to submit the data. Simple application canvas. We are not designed a pretty much things. We are just learning how to design a simple form and submit the data to the source. Source could be changed, but the function remains same. Patch function is going to remain same. Right. So now what I will do, I will I'll just check whether this got updated on the cloud or not. So let me right click on this and then go to the view, somewhere view online option. I should see. Okay, share, not this. Copy properties always keeps here. OneDrive. Okay, in the OneDrive, if I click on this view online, this is the browser I'm going to use. You will be able to see this is what the record I submitted. Okay, this is not synchronized with my local, but this data got submitted on the cloud. Right, this data got submitted on the cloud. This is how it's going to work. So we saw how to create a very basic application to submit the data. And if you ask me about the patch function, let me explain that function one more time. So how the patch function is going to work, or what and all the parameters. Okay. So if you open this, so this is the just a key and value pair uh, in the meaning this is actually the kind of object in the form of object we are submitting a data in object. We can have the key as a column from the data source, and as a value we can give the reference of input field dot type of value, meaning this is a text, it will be text. For the numerical value you need not to specify anything, but for the date it will be based on the input field, it will give you the suggestion, that is fine. And patch is the only function you can use in Power Apps, okay, to work with the data to perform the CRUD operation. CRUD I can't say, but to create, modify, the update, kind of the create and update, I can say, is what something can be done using the patch. Right. So in the patch, so if I show you the schema, or I can say syntax of this function, syntax of patch function. So first of all, it is going to ask you data source, and so let me write the function here in the text format. So patch function, first of all, it is asking the information about the data source. If you are using the Excel table, you should give the name of table. If you are using the data was table, you should give the name of the table. If you are using SQL, SQL Server and all, or any other kind of SQL, you should give the reference of that connection here, meaning the SQL table connect with the connection and everything. Okay. Then it is asking for the record. Okay. So if you wants to, if you wants to, for example, create a new record, you will use the default function here. If you wants to create new record, but if you wants to edit the record, you will end up using the lookup, meaning you need to find out that function, lookup function you will use, and I will say edit record to find out the record, meaning whatever the data you may want. The way we perform the update operation in SQL, first of all, we will give the unique key value to filter the data, and based on that, we will set the value for the any specific column. Same kind of lookup function is going to work here. So you need to give that. After that, you need to define the object in the meaning the data in the form of object. So source column name as to value as to, I can say, input field value. So this is the a patch function syntax you can use, or you should use, right? There are many things in in the application. So let me many things. Okay, let me come to the point what we have to see. So we have to see how to navigate between meaning the screens. So we will create multiple screens or next applications, and then we will see how we can navigate. Okay. Then controls, we have to see or we have to learn the form controls. Then we have to work with the data sources, different types of data sources. We just tested the patch function, but we have to see collect, filter, lookup functions, and then even form controls. And we have to learn the Power FX formula language that is used in entire Power App, Power Platform, Power Applications, and Power Automate also. Then we will see how to create a variables, how to set it, how to manage the collections and all. Then the components, then power up settings and properties, even the navigation, right? So everything we will discuss. It's not possible to discuss everything in one go. So we will stop here with the basic, our basic application. Just try to create the application the way I created here. You will be able to create Excel. And obviously, if you don't have online Excel, meaning the business drive, you can use your personal connector also. So if you go to the OneDrive, if I say Excel, so this is, but let me search for the OneDrive. In Power Automate, I know it is supporting, okay, this OneDrive. So this is going to give you the list of available connectors from the personal OneDrive. Right, so I hope you like the content of this video. Thank you so much for watching the video. Have a nice day. Happy learning. Do not forget to subscribe webcam.